Okay then, so the latest episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. Now, I don't think it's been as strong as the last few episodes. I'm not sure why. The animation sort of didn't seem as good, but everything that happened I thought was pretty damn interesting. So the biggest thing that we got from this episode is we got to see Yuri's new fusion monster, or at least I think it is new. I don't think he's summoned it yet in the series. I definitely would have remembered his effect anyway. So listen how OP this is. So all of the Dimension Dragon's upgraded forms all seem very, very powerful, but this one especially seems devastating. And it works especially well in this sort of tag team duel. Yuri summons it, and its initial ability is that it can pick one monster on the field, negates its effects, and it turns that monster's attack to 0. The only thing I was a bit unsure about was why did Dusk Utopia's effect still work? Did it get negated by Yugo's card? That was anything I didn't quite understand. But anyway, yeah, he does that, and he goes to attack the monster to defeat it. But Yugo activates a card which allows him to destroy that monster. And then we get the real puncher, which is, its effect is, when it is destroyed, it destroys every single monster on the field, and every monster that's destroyed by it, it inflicts damage to the card's owner. So that's devastating. However, the only drawback I can see to this ability is if you yourself have monsters on your side of the field and you nuke the field, then you'll take that damage as well. So that's the only drawback, but if that's the only monster on the field, yeah, very powerful. So obviously that card is really, really awesome, and I'd love to see some combinations with that, with obviously Yuya's Odd Eyes Dragon, to see what kind of new abilities he can get if all of the Yuyas fuse together. Now if we go back to the start of the episode, Yuya is still trapped to the wall. I'm unsure why the professor hasn't tried to like kill him while he's on the wall or anything like that, but he seems to be pretty much okay with just continuing the 0 Arc 5 plan. So he's going to fuse all the girls, and he even comments that there's no turning back at this point, so I think no matter what, Ray is going to be reborn, possibly. We also get a bit of closure on one thing. Obviously, Aster had been holding on to that Smile World Torn in Half card, and Yugioh was actually able to see it and comment that, oh, he's held this card for this many years and this. So, like, towards the end of the episode, when Aster was willing to put himself on the line due to the teachings that he'd learnt from Yuya, which obviously Yuya learnt from his dad. So that was kind of, that's gone full circle. It's kind of closed the Aster arc, if you will, and I guess Kite's arc has kind of been closed as well. So if those characters were to get carded now, I hope none of them do, because I'd love to see all of the main rivals try and stop maybe Zarc, and then Zarc is able to defeat all them. I think that would be pretty cool to do, but there you go. If they decide to kill them off with carding them, I guess they've kind of fulfilled the purposes now. I was also confused why Yugioh didn't join in on this duel. Like, we had 2 intrusion penalties, might as well have had 3. What did make me laugh about Aster as well is he used a card, which I don't know if he's used it before, but it was called D-Fusion, but just the D. Obviously there's D-Fusion, the one that splits up monsters, but I don't know, D-Fusion made me laugh for some reason. And he summons a weirdly named monster called Dusk Utopia guy. I don't know why, it just seems weird to say. But did you notice how Kite's ears propped up when he said the word Utopia? He's getting some vivid flashbacks from perhaps a previous life. As well, when Yuri summoned his Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon, he also used Super Polymerization again, which I cannot get enough of in this series. It's really cool how they're implementing the old school into this sort of duel. It's really, really cool. And the parallels now between some of the other series' villains and this one, it's interesting because obviously there are mentions of the word Supreme King because Zarc's monster was called like Supreme King Zarc something or other, and obviously that sort of purplish glow, that kind of looked like, who did it look like? It was like the Light of Destruction or something like that. It was something along them lines. And what with Super Polymerization being used by Yubel and the Supreme King, then, you know, there's like all these parallels. I'll be surprised if one of these enemies isn't something from an old series sort of come back. Because remember the Darkness from the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX? You can never kill him, like you can defeat him, but he'd always come back eventually. So perhaps this is the second coming of him? Who knows? So apart from everything I've just said, this episode is pretty simple really. You kind of get the gist of what is happening. Yuri is still under the influence of the glow, so he seems like he's acting like his normal self, but I think he's being influenced just a little tiny bit by the whole combining themselves. So keep that in mind if Yuri acts a bit out of character, but he seems to be acting like himself anyway. I still think that Yuri is going to win this duel, take Yugo, and then maybe them two will fight against, obviously, Yuya and all that for dominance on maybe who gets the reincarnation or something. I'm not 100% sure how that would work. But that's kind of how I feel like this is going to go down. And if we look at the preview for the next episode, the biggest thing we see from that is the fact that Rayra can hear and see Ray. God knows how long this has been a thing, but perhaps since the girls are getting fused together, her sort of essence might be showing up, so that's why Rayra can see it. And Rayra's going to duel Reggie over this. Do I think Rayra's going to win? Probably not, but it'd be a cool duel anyway to see what actually the stakes are to do with this, because I don't think Reggie believes him at all. But anyway, those are my thoughts and my opinions on the episode. I'd love to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do we think that Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon is OP? I definitely do, and I can't wait to see if he's got any more like upgraded forms, because that'll definitely be more powerful. But other than that, guys, let me know your thoughts and theories. Thanks for watching. Right then, guys, so recently I subscribed to Loot Crate. Specifically, I subscribed to Loot Anime. They specialise in sending Loot Anime related stuff, and I thought that I'd do an unboxing for you guys and show you the kind of stuff I got. Unfortunately, I'm in the future, so I've already opened it all, so I know what I get. This is what the box looks like after you've turned it inside out. It's kind of like a treasure chest, which we're going to see a treasure